afternoon. Today we are continuing with almost the exact same thing as we did yesterday. Yesterday was CO24. I can find a new amount after an increase. Today, CO25 is I can find the new amount after a decrease. So we use decreases in everyday life. One of my favorite things to do is to figure out what kind of savings I'm going to get on a sale. I love to save money. And I'd be like, oh, look at that. I can save this much. That's the decrease. What is my new price going to be after I take off that discount? After I find that 30% off. Love those kind of percents off. Okay. So we truly use this all the time in the adulting world. Figuring out what our new amount is once we can save money. So here are some other situations. Last week you talked on the phone for 200 minutes and you want to decrease that by 30% because that 200 minutes is a lot. How many minutes will you talk on the phone this week? Or the original price of a video game is $80, but this week, oh my goodness, it's on sale for 75% off. What is the new cost after the discount? As a goalie of your hockey team, you gave up 3.7 goals per game last season because we took the average. This season, you want to decrease that by 24%. What is your goal for the number of goals you give up per game? So let's see how we're going to do that. Thinking back to what we learned yesterday on how we increased, it's going to be very similar. Any guess what the key thing is that we're going to do differently from yesterday? What do you think, Damien? Instead of adding, we are going to subtract. So as I write, I wonder if I can make this bigger. As I write on the board up here, what should you be doing in your binder? Whatever I write on the board, you write in your binder. So that way we are following along and we have something to go back and look at tonight if we're still not understanding. So make sure you are writing what I am writing. So finding the amount of decrease first. Just like yesterday we found the amount of increase first. We're going to do the same concept. So our phone was 30% of 200 minutes is what? How much do we want to decrease by? What is 30% of 200? Grace? 30% is 0.3 times 200. Dominic? 60. You forgot that decimal place, Grace. Decimals matter. 660 is a very big difference. Okay? So remember that 30% is 0.3. So if we know we want to go down by 60, what's my second step? What do I have to do, Addie?
Subtract 60 by 200, I think.
Subtract 60 from 200. So 200 minus 60, I want to go down to 140 minutes. Okay. Kind of making sense going off of what we did yesterday. Video game. What percentage off was our video game? Will. So I need to find 75% of what was my original number. Emerson? $80. What is 75% of 80? What am I going to put into my calculator to find 75% of 80? That 75%, I want to know that decimal. 75% is 0.75 of means times 80. So that's the math that I'm putting into my calculator. 0.75 times 80. It is 60. So I go back to my original price of $80. I'm going to take off that $60. What is the new price of my video game? Christian, $20. Is that a good deal?
Deal.
It is a good
Best
deal.
deal ever.
Okay,
Oreo under $20.
let's look at our hockey. What percentage do we want to decrease by? Will, I want to decrease by 24% of how many goals? Emerson? 3.7. So the math that we put into our calculator, 24% is 0.24 of means multiply 3.7.
Not even one goal.
So, Mr. Schultz is really big on rounding to our 100th place. So we're gonna round to that 100th place. Okay, when we have bigger decimals, we just round to that 100th, just like with the money. Round to our 100th. So then we go back to our original amount of goals, 3.7. Subtract out our decrease, 3.7 minus 89 gives me what? Lucas? 2.81. 2.81. So now let's look at the second way we can do it, where we use that formula. Remember that formula from yesterday? We have the original amount, and then we're gonna multiply it by that 100%. How do you think we're gonna change this? Because we're decreasing now. Claire?
You subtract from 100.
We're gonna subtract the new percent from 100. So yesterday we were increasing, so we added 100% to our percent. Now we're subtracting it. So if we look at our phone, what was the original price of the phone? Will? Or not price, the original amount of minutes. 200 minutes times that 100% minus, we want to decrease it by 30%. So we have 200 minutes times 70%. 70% is what decimal? 0.7. So 200 times 0.7 gives me that 140 minutes. Let's look at the video game. What is my original price of the video game, Henry?
$80.
$80. I'm going to multiply that by 100% minus how much?
75.
75%. So then I have 80 times 100 minus 75 is 25%. 25% is 0.25. So 80 times 0.25 gives me what? Claire? $20. And my last one, my hockey goals. What is my original number of goals? Jude?
3.7.
3.7. I'm going to multiply that by 100% minus, we want to decrease by 24%. So 3.7 times what percent?
76.
76%. 76% is what decimal? 0.76. So 3.7 times 0.76. 2.812. We round it to that 100th place, and we get that 2.81. Yes.
Do we round all of them to the 100th place?
Yeah, unless you're told otherwise, to be on the safe side, I would just round to the 100th. Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be 2 of them.
So. Any questions on the decrease?
What does he do? Yeah.
Well, but you're subtracting. So what does it mean? Yeah, when we're right outside the
Because
we have to
even
multiply.
divided being 2 pages.
That's all.
I got it. Yeah, like, I don't know if it's out. I'm just saying. Can I go look at it? So
Friends, people had questions, which is okay. We're still in the middle of a lesson. Let's see what else we have to do. So, same idea as yesterday, but instead of adding, we're subtracting. Instead of increasing, we're decreasing. So, look at our directions. Using one of the methods above, answer each question. Do not include sales tax. So we're not worrying about sales tax this time because sales tax increases, and we're just focusing on the decrease right now. So there's no sales tax to add. So the original price of the CD is $12, but is on sale for 15%. How much will you pay for the CD? We're going to do that same math as above. Second one, you buy 3 20-ounce bottles for $1.80 each. You have a coupon for 5% off your total purchase. Then you pay with a $10 bill. What is your change? So we have several steps in this one. We're not being charged $1.80 because we're buying 3. So we have to figure out how much that total is with 3 bottles of pop. Then we're going to take off our 5% off of those 3 bottles, off the total purchase. So you have to add all 3 bottles together, find 5% of that to take off, and then we're going to take that away from our $10 bill to see what our change will be. Yesterday, some people forgot to find the change. You can't forget that final step. Then we have a table like we had yesterday. I see people working ahead. I see people talking, hear people talking. I don't want you to miss important points. This is still the lesson. We still have lots of work time, so let's pay attention. On the table, we're doing the same thing we did yesterday, putting in that final price, but instead of increasing, we're decreasing. We have a discount instead of a tip. So you're just filling in what those final prices are. Then down here, key thing. Some of us had questions about, oh, I don't know what I did differently than what you did. I got this for an answer, and we didn't really know where you went wrong because you didn't show your work. Showing your work means putting whatever you're putting into your calculator, writing it down. So if we're decreasing 75 by 28%, maybe I have 75 times 100% minus 28%. So that was 75 times 72%. And then you can give me an answer. But I need to know which method you're doing. I need to know what numbers you're putting into your calculator. I don't want you just to write an answer because then I can't help you when we get it wrong. Okay? Show your work. If you're using the calculator, which it's fine to use, write your calculation down. And then figure out your word problem. Any questions? Okay, this is a silent work time because people want to concentrate. Silent working. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well. I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.